All right. Welcome to the second game that we have live stream here with commentary for the Sioux Curlers Major League. We got a really good game here tonight. Team Robert versus Team Hodgson. They're both 4-1 in the standings, and should be a really good matchup here. I got somebody joining me tonight, which is going to be helpful, so I don't have to talk by myself the whole time. So I brought our own head ice technician, former Sioux College Cougar, OCAA medalist, Josh Vanderberg. Yeah, sort of a surprise to see Team Hodgson 4-1 to start the year. They had some struggles the last 2 years. They brought on a new player this year, Brady Barnett, who was a former junior champion with with Brad Jacobs. Played with Brad Jacobs in 2005. Really good addition to the team. Brady throwing the last rocks, of course. And they do have a 5-man team this year. Should be a great matchup tonight, and I would expect to see a lot of rocks in play this game. So, also we have some other matchups going on here tonight in the Sioux Curlers Major League. We have Team Hunt on sheet 5 taking on Team Sioux College Mixed. Team Hunt with a 3-1 record, Sioux College Mixed with a 1-4 record. On sheet 7, we have Sioux Curlers Sioux College Men taking on Team Globota. Sioux College Men at 2-3. Globota starting off 1-4. And on sheet 8, we have Team Al Harnden versus Team Clint Cudmore. Clint Cudmore 3-2. Team Al Harnden at 1-3 to start the year. So some interesting developments here early on in the year. Lots of parity going on, which is great to see. And we'll see the first rock of the game here end up as a tight center guard. Yep, it did. And makes a big difference. You want to make sure you're touching the center line here because we do play with the no tick rule, and it has come into effect several times in the last couple weeks that I've seen. So still a skilled shot, still trying to make sure you bite that center line. So we'll see Charlie go around the center guard here. I think Charlie Roberts saw some action in Barrie last weekend playing in an OCT spiel. There you go. You know more than me. We did see this last week. I was calling a game right on the same sheet last week, and there was a lot of people with the case of the heavies. And I think for sure ice conditions are very quick. Probably looking at a 14-5, probably, if you want to get a couple split times for me there, Josh. Always nice to see your own product at work here with some skilled curlers. So Leah Hodgson, also a former Northern Ontario junior champion. Couple former Northern Ontario champions on this ice. Charlie, of course, making a couple mixed championships. He did play a junior. Yeah, he did play he played a Canadian juniors with Tanner. That's right. Yeah. And they're playing police championships this year. They're trying to qualify for the Canadian championships. Not sure where the nationals are this year, but yep, stay above the tee. That's key there. Megan Saint Amand former college competitor for Confederation and Sioux College. Also, Chris Globota's significant other, who likes to remind him of her record at 4-1 and his at 1-4, which I think is good to have a household rivalry. So yes, they did win the mixed doubles. I think they went that would have been 2017, 2016 maybe, that they went to the mixed doubles, beat Chelsea Carey and Colin Hodgson in one of their games.
And now Charlie's gonna play a run back here and try to open things up. And oh, really? Oh. All right, we're having some technical difficulties there. Josh Vandenberg is here now. This is me, and this is Brady Barnett's first rock in the first end. I think he's just looking to play center guard and really put the pressure on Robert. And here's Brady's shot. They haven't laid a brush to it yet. They're sweeping it now. I think they're playing the audible. And right through to the back 12 foot, back 8 foot. So Charlie's got a decision to make here now. You might be able to get all three of these rocks to go if you hit them in the right spot here. So I imagine that's what Charlie will be trying. Well, here's Charlie's attempt here at the triple, I believe. So if he can get these rocks moving, will benefit Team Robert immensely here. Here's Charlie's shot now. He's going to throw some heat on this one. Little outside. And he only gets the top one. I don't think that is what Charlie was hoping for. Team Hodgson's really putting the pressure on Team Robert here.
All right. Well, you have a co-commentator now, I think. We'll have to go check after this end to see if both mics were working. But oh, you could hear me now? Okay, good. So for everybody that was listening to that first end, I was not talking to myself. Josh's microphone was just not working. But yeah, here we go. Team Hodgson in a little in a very good spot right now, sitting 3. Team Robert's going to have a tough one here to score if Brady can put this in a good spot. Probably trying to just bite the center line close to the house. Maybe leave about half of that top 4-1 exposed, Josh. You'll probably see Charlie draw. I don't think he's going to hit against those two unless he could see close to nose.
Yeah, it depends where Brady puts his here, but I'd say Team Robert is in a little bit of trouble.
This one will go deep. Not ideal, but I mean, they are sitting 4, so I guess that is ideal, but you're making Charlie draw against 4. There's no way he's going to play a triple or anything silly here. You just got to at least be full 4 to cut them down to 1 or bite the button for your single. So
They've played a few draws down this path now, so it should be up to speed, I would imagine. We'll just see if Charlie has his draw weight down in this first end.
I missed Charlie's last one there. What was his last one?
His last one, he just picked the top rock in the pile of greens there.
Oh, okay.
He was trying for the triple, just a little wide, and get a hog to hog on this one too, and see how the ice is running tonight here at Sioux Curlers. Over on sheet 5, we got Team Hunt, and they are preparing for the Curling Club Nationals here at the end of the month.
Next week, and they're going to Winnipeg, actually.
Next week.
I think it's at the Assiniboine Curling Club, just in the Winnipeg area, another 8-sheeter.
Oh, and Charlie, with his draw, it looks like he just came up short.
Yeah, that will be a steal of 1 for Team Hodgson. And
sure Charlie will take that with what he was looking at before.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so it's 1-0 Team Hodgson after one end of play here at the Sioux Curlers Major League, sponsored by Northern Superior Brewing Company. Try their new beer, Easy Peel, available at Sioux Curlers and Terrantours Curling Club. All right, and we're off here in the second end. And Brady's calling another tight guard here. Why not? He had some success with the steal last end. Stay aggressive here. At least try to get a force at worst, and, you're in good shape. A little bit of a missed throw there by Leah. That one will come up light and just be a 1 guard that's sort of not close to the center there. It's sort of in between a corner and a center guard. So Charlie will...
Her first rock in the first end seemed to do the same thing, so I wonder maybe if she's got a cutter.
Yeah, well, these rocks were sharpened for the Sioux Curlers Fall Classic. And now they're definitely probably starting to show some of their tendencies again, with a little bit of the sharpness coming off them. So
and Brady here is gonna just call the tight guard again, I believe. See if Leah can make this one. Not putting a brush to it now. Maybe they're going to try to the audible here and go behind.
Some very excited fans here in the mezzanine yelling hard line. Always good to see people get into the game.
And around the other games here, Team Hunt took 2 in the first end against the Sioux College Mixed. And that's the only score that seems to be up yet. So we'll update you on the other games when they put their scores up. I think Charlie here is just looking to freeze right on top of his. and executed pretty good. Just a little bit of a tap there, though.
Yeah, I think there's an off-nose double here. Should spin past your green. I think that green's biting at the back too, so looks that way anyways. This one is curling early, and it's going to over curl. Not a terrible result though. Those are staggered in the top 12 right now. So, Charlie's got to deal with that. If they could ever wrap one around there, they're looking at another possible steal. So, probably see Charlie try to corner freeze, get an angle here. Even if he taps them around a little bit, gets them better lined up, because right now it's not a great angle for him, especially with that high guard being there. Dan Lemieux, former Sioux College Ontario champion back in 1992, who is also currently the coach for Sioux College right now. And that is not a very well thrown rock. Not sure if that one picked something or if he was just light and started it. But end result is not very good, and there's a lot of junk in play here. Brady's probably licking his chops right now at this draw, so I think he just called for a hack waiter here, actually. Try to pick that yellow and sit 3, which also isn't a bad call. I feel like that you could get one around those two, you're in good shape, but I guess it's always good to sit 3 when you don't have hammer. And he'll make it. Nice shot there by Megan Saint Amand.
Again, Team Hodgson seems to be putting the pressure on Team Robert here early in the second end. Let's see if Dan can make this shot and kind of change the momentum of this end this game.
Yeah, this is a big shot here from Dan. You want to get a nice roll here, try to generate a deuce, help your skipper out. Don't want to make him draw against 4 again, so gets a little bit of a roll here, and it's pretty accessible for Brady to get to.
Yeah, and Charlie looks not very impressed right now with that line call. I think they just didn't get the curl super on soon enough and didn't get the roll they were hoping for, but still a good shot nonetheless.
I think Josh Vanderberg could have made that one better than Dan Lemieux, though.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm not out there tonight, so.
All kidding aside there, Danny's a great thrower. Great tuck delivery from Dan Lemieux. Well, he'll get the nose there. Not exactly the result he was looking for there either, but you're sitting 3 without hammer, and leave yourself a hit and roll here. They might be able to come off the bottom of that stone. I think it might be a little too high to do that, but nonetheless, you got a roll here. Even if this is half buried, you put a little bit of pressure on them. So and that will roll away.
I believe they were trying to roll under there. So again, Team Robert having some struggles early getting those rolls, and let's see if Dan Lethbridge can make them pay for not making that shot.
Still not a bad situation here for Charlie. I mean, you only got rocks in the 12-foot right now, so if he had to draw against those, I would trust that he would make a draw to the 8-foot. Seen a couple draws he's made against me to the 8-foot at least, so
Yeah, Charlie. Charlie usually has his draw weight on pretty good, so you don't want to leave him open draws to the 8-foot.
Alyssa Bejan with the sweep here, trying to hold this one, but it will over curl and it will roll out to the middle of the 12-foot and pop open there for Team Hodgson to attempt this hit and roll, I believe. All right, so Brady's going to try to roll one in here and sit 3 buried. Charlie's going to have to make a very precise draw if this one is made. It looks like this one is over curling as well, though. And he will get the yellow, but also take his own out as well with just hitting it too thin. So not great. Charlie can bury one here, and you'll have to be looking at a corner freeze to try to hold them to 1 or possibly force them to 1, depending on if this ends up above the tee line or not. Best spot for this one would be basically just biting 4-foot, 3/4 buried or fully buried.
Looks like they're having a discussion here on to where to perfectly place the rock to make it harder for Brady to force them to 1. I'm sure Charlie wouldn't be too happy with a 4 straight here, so he's going to do everything he can to get his deuce. And I guess where he wants to put this rock is where he thinks he can do it for his deuce.
So we're seeing the same trend as last week. We have teams that have vices that do not like to update their scoreboards, which is not very friendly for us giving updates. So just a reminder for those vices out there, please update your scoreboards for your commentators and for the line score people. Be nice.
Oh, here's Charlie's shot here.
What's the hog to hog running at?
I believe it's around 14.5 right now, but I'll get a better idea of with this one. This one really seems to be curling.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be light.
Yeah, 15.4 on that one there. I don't know if he maybe pinched it a little bit, but
yeah, it's probably going to be close to a 14.7 for T line, I would imagine.
So.
So again, you have that staggered rocks, which is not good for Team Robert right now. If Brady can get one buried here, he's going to put some pressure on him. Looking for around a 14.6, 14.7.
Same spot that Charlie's kind of curled in too. a 15-4, 15-3.
Yeah, I think that just shows you being a little bit more positive on your release can get you to drag the rock another 4 feet, right? Charlie with a little bit of a lazier handle. Charlie with a little bit of a lazier handle than Brady, and that's sort of what you get out of that. For those of you that aren't familiar with hog to hog time, hog to hog refers to hog line to hog line, which will give you a split time that will tell you roughly where the rock's going to end up. Obviously, it varies for the different path that you take. It's not going to be all the same right across the sheet, but you should be pretty close to being. I think if he threw a 15-4 on his last one, he's looking probably for a 14-7, 14-8 here, or just a little bit more of a positive release. This one's not light, I could tell you that. And this has really got to sit down. You don't want to give up a steal of 2, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So big mistake here for Charlie Robert in the second end, and Team Hodgson will take advantage of that, and they'll go up 3-0 after 2, and here at the Sioux Curlers Major League, sponsored by Northern Superior Brewing Company. We'll be right back.
And we're back here in the third end. And with Team Hodgson up 3-0 after a big steal of 2 against Team Robert here. So Team Robert's got to start making those rolls. And again, Leah's this rock seems to be over curling again. So and Charlie's just going to put up the corner guard. Hopefully he can get his 2 points back here. And this one's looking pretty good here. Haven't really laid a brush to it much, so it's a good sign. And it's just and it just squeaks into the house. That's probably why they gave me the night off, because I don't know how to judge weight. And Brady's just going to play the hit here. Seems the Team Robert is having a hard time getting things going.
All right, so if you're Charlie here, you're definitely going to want to get you got to get some rocks in play. Got to get those corners up, but you got 2 rocks from Team Hodgson in the house right now, and not really too sure about this. I'm not really liking this call. I think I would be putting up the corner guard still. I know it's early, but you're down. Well, you're down 3-0. I guess if you score, but you're still down 2 without hammers. So I guess we'll see how this one ends up. And they'll remove that rock and they'll roll out a play. I imagine you see Brady try to split the house here again, or go behind. If you're Team Hodgson here, you definitely want to try to get a force out of your opponent. Keep the hammer up by 2. Not really sure this is the best way to get a force, though. You're going to go around something that's acting as a guard, even though it's biting the rings. This one is over curling, and it's going to be short, and it's going to leave a corner guard. Oh, it's going to bump. Still leaves a corner guard, though. Charlie calling for the freeze on the nose of the screen. Dan Lemieux trying to freeze right on the nose here. Try to make them throw something that's gonna possibly push your rock behind that corner guard. You don't want to leave it corner frozen, or they're just gonna peel it. And they will bump. They will bump the green partially behind cover, and they'll roll their shooter to the center line. Not ideal, but you do still have something to freeze to, and you have a corner guard there, so. Out of the hand early here from Megan's takeout attempt on this yellow stone. And she will roll towards that corner guard and sort of set up a little bit of a pocket. Corner freeze to that one just in biting that. They're both biting the top 8, but you corner freeze to the one that's a little bit deeper there. And even if you bump the one closer to center line back and still leave yourself a little bit of a pocket, it's going to be tough for Team Hodgson to get rid of that rock without jamming. So definitely not a bad setup right now for Team Robert to try to generate a deuce out of this end. And they will roll off that corner guard and sit corner frozen on the, or just short of it, on that center line sort of green there. So straight peel, get rid of the yellow. Don't worry about your shooter or if you run into one of your other rocks. Just got to make that yellow go away. Keep everything open and try to somehow either force Charlie to one here, or if there's not enough rocks in play, you'll probably see Charlie go for the blank. So. Dan Lethbridge, former Sioux College Cougar, playing in a couple national events. And he'll make the yellow go away and get both of his greens going too. So it's actually a really good result there. Didn't leave anything for Charlie to freeze to. He's got the come around, that corner guard, but pretty good shot there by Dan. Nick Servant trying to get one buried here. If you could ever get one just above the tee line, full 12, you'll probably see Team Hodgson take a run at that green one. So this looks heavy. It'll end up back 12, but it is buried. You could see maybe about half that rock from the hack. Not quite. I think he's calling for board weight here. Again, not really too concerned about the shooter where it ends up. Just make that yellow go away. If you catch your guard, also not a bad result. Just can't be wide here. And he is wide here, but he will catch a piece. Charlie's going to call for the same shot around that corner guard. So Nick should be pretty close on this one. He just threw that draw back 12. So I would assume he's going to take a little bit off this, give it to the sweepers, try to get a little more late finish on this rock and get it fully buried. If you could ever get one above the tee line buried here, you're in really good shape. You force Hodgson into playing that run, or he'll have to play a really precise corner freeze, which I don't see him doing right by 3 without hammer. And not a great result there by Nick. He came up light, maybe overcompensated a little bit after his first shot, but pretty routine shot here coming up for Brady. Just get rid of the yellow. I think they actually bumped that green almost to biting. If it is biting, that's not good. That'll be a fairly routine force.
It seems it's been all Team Hodgson in this game so far. It seems Team Robert can't really seem to get anything going.
Yeah, Team Robert was off to a really good start this season, starting off 4-0, right after winning the Major League last year, actually. So carrying some momentum from last season into this season.
This one seems to be curling early. Ooh, right through the
Wow.
hole.
That is not good.
No, this seems to be Charlie's chance to maybe score some points and get right back into this game.
Yeah, big miss there. They can play the hit and roll away, try to split the rings here. You're going to force Brady into making some type of double or steep hit and roll. So Charlie's really got to focus on this one, make sure he throws nice. I think he's just calling for down normal control weight, try to get the roll away.
Yeah, I would believe just control would get it done.
All right, we got some updates to share with you. We have Team Hunt with a 3-0 lead over the Sioux College mixed team on sheet 5. On sheet 6, Sioux College men is leading Team Globota 1-0 after 2 ends. And on sheet 8, Team Herndon has a 1-0 lead over Team Cudmore after 1. I don't see the second end marked there, so they are playing their third end though.
Another unforced error there by Team Robert, rolling the other way instead of to the center line, to the other side of the house. So I think Brady's playing. I'm not sure what he's playing. He wouldn't be coming off his own into those two, would he, Matt?
No, I think he's just trying to remove the yellow and maybe roll his shooter towards his green. Oh, that's not a bad shot. Leaves Charlie with the opportunity for the blank.
Yeah, because I don't believe that one at the top is in.
No, you would have done a really bad job with installing these rings
If that
is in. I just helped you with the decals. I didn't do the rings.
And here's Charlie attempting the blank here.
Dan Lemieux on the sweep early. And Charlie with his arms in the air. And he will be forced to one. And it is a 3-1 lead for Team Hodgson after 3 ends here at the Sioux Curlers Major League, sponsored by Northern Superior Brewing Company. All right, we're back with fourth end action here in the Sioux Curlers Major League, sponsored by Northern Superior Brewing Company. I'm enjoying a nice 11 p.m. right now while I commentate, so support the sponsors. We're really happy to have Northern Superior on board, and they've been a great sponsor so far for our Major League, and really, really important partner in keeping this competitive league going. So kudos to them. Looks like a tight guard there.
Yeah, a nice guard
Looks
there
like a
by
tight
Alyssa.
guard there.
Good start to the end. Get some momentum here for Team Robert.
Yeah, maybe switch things up a little bit. Always nice playing. If you don't have success with hammer, now they're gonna try their chances with stealing. So never know, you might get a couple steals here, and definitely at worst want to try to force Team Hodgson here. Can't really afford to give up a deuce and go down 5-1. So little mistake there, as this one will slide through the rings. And I probably see a double guard here, I would imagine. And that's what Charlie is going to call. Very important that you're on the center line here. Again, we're playing with the no tick rule, which was recently adopted by Curling Canada, World Curling Federation adopting that rule. And I there's a lot of controversy. A lot of people will tell you they like it or they don't like it. Personally, I do like it. I think it brings a lot of excitement to the game. It's still a very skilled shot, and a lot closer games in the last end of these games, where you've always seen teams without hammer never really have an opportunity to win if you had a really good team that was good at the tick shot. So I think it's a good rule, and I think you're going to see a lot of close games this year because of that rule. So
Leah Hodgson with her second here, just trying to go around everything, and she was heavy on her first, so trying to correct and make this one perfect. And she does. A nice shot there by Leah, and Charlie's just going to freeze right on top of it. Here's Dan Lemieux here, just trying to freeze. He just taps it just a bit, but it's a nice shot there by Dan Lemieux, and now Brady has a decision to make here, and it looks like he wants to play the freeze. Wouldn't be a bad decision to open everything up here, but looks like he's going with the freeze. So see if they can execute this. Have the brushers on it early, but looks like they're just going to tick it over just a bit. Not a bad shot, though. Not a bad audible there. Left the double, though. See if Danny can make this one here. And they just got off of it just for that second there. And again, the Team Roberts seems to be having a hard time with line calling tonight. Probably because I'm not out there with them. Sure, I would help. So Brady's got a decision to make here now. Looks like he's just playing the peel here. Try to open things up. Oh, and they picked their own at the back 4 foot, so probably not what they wanted. Sure, Charlie will just put another guard up here. Looks like they're gonna play the peel again here. We try to get pick the one off the top 4. And just misses. Looked like he got a little wide there. And Charlie's just gonna guard for his life now. Looking for the steal here to make it a 3-2 game. It's 3-1 right now, so. And here's Nick looking for the center line guard. Looks like it was tight out of his hand. They've really got to go to get that one going.
Yikes. Yikes. There's 25 cents to the piggy bank.
Yeah, another unforced error there by Team Robert. That seems to be the story tonight.
Yeah, really struggling with draw weight tonight. Saw this last week on this sheet. It was a case of the heavies with Team Globota, but not really sure what's going on here. Not really used to seeing Charlie's team struggle with draw weight like this, but Team Hodgson definitely taking advantage of that.
Got Megan on this one here. Just trying to squeak it by this top, and we just hit it right on the nose. I think they were hoping for a little bit of an inside roll there, but still a nice shot nonetheless.
Well, we'll see if Charlie could get a nice little hit and roll under here. Even if you're half buried, put a little pressure on Brady and see if you could generate a force out of this end at the very least. Definitely can't afford to give up two here, being down 3-2 or 3-1. Sorry.
Charlie with his first here.
Definitely a little more positive on his release.
And just a little bit of an inside roll there, but not. I don't know if that's what Charlie was hoping for.
He's definitely throwing a little bit more rotation than he was earlier in the game. Obviously, these rocks still being sharp. After we had the Sioux Curlers Fall Classic here 2 weeks ago, they were touched up pretty good, so they are moving. What's the speed running at right now, Josh?
I believe it's around 14.5 to 15, pretty consistently so far this game. I've been keeping an eye on the other sheets, and they're about the same too. So nice speed out here tonight.
Megan with the curl sweep here early. And he'll roll the shooter out of play and leave Charlie a pretty easy come around top four. Couple updates for you here on the Sioux Curlers Major League, sponsored by Northern Superior Brewing Company. Sheet number 5, we have Team Hunt, who stole another point in the third end, and they go up 4-0. On sheet 7, still no score marked in the third end. It continues to be a 1-0 lead for the Sioux College men over Team Globota. And on sheet 8, we have a single point scored in the third end for Team Cudmore, stolen point, and it's 2-1 game over Team Al Harnden on sheet 8. And this rock will over curl, peek out the other side, and there is a port there that they can access to get this yellow rock. Probably throw solid control or normal at this one, I would imagine. Leah looks like she's calling for a normal weight. Well, if you're Brady here, make sure this yellow goes away. Pretty sure you're sticking around though, no matter what. Like it's not a. If you get through that port, I don't really see the shooter rolling out, so you're going to be forced to your one here. Maybe if you throw a little up weight, you might be able to roll it out, but. No, and he did roll out. So great shot. Makes the hit and roll out for the blank, and it'll remain a 3-1 lead here for Team Hodgson after 4 ends. All right, we're back in the 5th end of play here. Sioux Curlers Major League, sponsored by Northern Superior Brewing Company. Charlie is going to be looking to probably put up tight center and then a high center and try to generate a steal here. That rock will over curl. It's about halfway guard, but it did over curl. It's not on the center line, so not ideal. And that one ends up back 8. Charlie's going to try to throw another center guard here and make sure it's on the center line, or possibly tuck one around there. It was not a bad call either. Nice shot there by Alyssa. Center line guard. Slightly around, or not buried behind the other one, but pretty much edge on edge with that other guard. So they have a pretty good setup here if they want to try to steal this end or possibly force. Very nice come around here by Leah Hodgson. She'll go full 8, buried. And now Charlie's going to have to play a corner freeze on this one, or maybe possibly bump this back a little bit too. Is not terrible. He did call for T-line back 4 weight. Now calling for the corner freeze, so... Don't want to rub off this one and go into the open. So you got to be careful with where this ends up. And that's not a very good shot. He'll leave him a hit and roll. Wanted to make sure that you're corner frozen there, or at worst, even a little bit buried around that one wouldn't have been terrible. But rolls to the open, leaves a hit and roll here for Megan. Pretty routine shot. I think she's just throwing control weight at this one. It's hanging out there. And Megan will get the nose, so Charlie can breathe a sigh of relief there. Leaves him a little bit of an out here. Little opportunity missed there by Megan. They could have put some real pressure on Charlie if they would have got that one buried off the hit and roll. Dan Lemieux throwing the intern hit and roll here. And that one will roll across the face of that green. And it will be Team Hodgson still sitting, I believe they're sitting 2 right now, actually, fully buried. Got to be careful here if you're Megan. Definitely can't afford to be outside on this one, but doesn't look like it's going to be. It's not a bad result. You open things up. Worst thing you could have did there was be outside and slash the yellow onto your green. So not terrible. It's open, so
Still seems like Team Robert has been on the struggle bus most of this game. Can't really seem to catch a break.
well, you're your own tough critic there, Josh. Josh is our head ice maker here at Sioux Curlers, also a member of Team Robert. 5-man team.
Yeah, my night off tonight, so I thought I'd step into the booth. And again, doesn't seem to be Nick Servant's night.
Yeah, not very good. We'll leave that yellow fully open, and you'll see Brady remove that and roll the shooter towards center line.
Brady's just gonna hit this one here, and
It's not a lot of ice, so I'd imagine he's probably throwing peel at this one. Solid normal. And Dan will roll the shooter to the wing, and Team Hodgson will sit 3 without the hammer here in the 5th end. No, with the hammer. Sorry. I forgot he made the blank last end. Yeah, so this is big trouble here for Charlie now, especially without the hammer.
looks like Charlie's just gonna play the double here.
Double or hit and roll, both are okay at this
One seems to be hanging.
point.
Oh, and there's a nice shot by Nick Servant.
Still a pretty good setup here for Brady to get his deuce. He hits and rolls away here. He'll be sitting two buried on the wings, so there is still a yellow in front of the house that Charlie can utilize later in the end if he needs to try to bury one and possibly get out of this end, but doesn't get the full roll behind cover there. He's pretty much edge on edge with that corner guard. And I believe there is a double here. Even if you make the hit and roll and catch it a little thick, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing the double here, I believe. Or just a hit and roll.
Yeah, I didn't really see where he called it, but I would assume with that ice, he's probably playing the hit and roll. And he catches that one thin, and we'll just remove the one stone, and Team Hodgson will have an opportunity to bury one here and put some real pressure on Charlie.
And Charlie seems to be showing his frustration. I don't know if maybe they jumped that out of his hand and kind of kept it from curling, but didn't seem they laid a brush to it.
All right, we'll do some updates here while we're waiting for Brady to throw this rock. So on sheet 5, we have Team Hunt with a steal of 2, and they lead that game 6-0 over the Sioux College mixed team. On sheet 7, Team Globota with a big steal of 3, and they will lead that one 4-1 after 4 ends. And on sheet 8, it is still a 2-1 game for Team Cudmore. Not sure what happened in the fourth end. I believe they just finished that one, so oh, we have some news here. It seems like somebody else was watching that game, and Al did take his single, so it's a 2-2 game on sheet 8, which does not have live streaming. So you'll have to listen to the live scoring updates. Just 6 sheets of live streaming here at Sioux Curlers.
Great shot there by Brady to bury behind that corner guard. Now Charlie's trying to figure out if you should freeze to it or.
Well, at this point, I think probably drawing around that yellow might be a little bit too late. I don't know. Whatever shot I guess you think you could make at this point. I mean, you could see part of that green. Could make a hit and roll off that green, and at worst, I guess, give up 2, but you're already down by a couple, so you don't really want to give up a deuce here. But giving up a deuce is better than giving up 3, I guess. It looks like that's what they're. I know Nick has his broom close to the center line, so I would assume they're going through that port, or are they playing a draw around
I
the
don't know.
corner?
The ice could be for either or, but by the looks of it, I think he's gonna freeze to that green on the left side of center. I imagine.
It is behind the T line, so I mean, even if you get this one half buried and leave a good angle, you have a chance of forcing your opponent to their single or possibly getting a steal, depending what Brady does. So
A lot of discussion here about what kind of weight to play, maybe, or maybe if to change the shot. But it seems like Charlie's gonna stick with his gut and play the shot he called.
yeah, I don't know how many stones have really been thrown down on this path for a draw path. So probably just the front end trying to confirm split times with them and try to get this one close. You got to be shot here. So this one is curling early, and Dan Lemieux is going hard on this one. And that one will roll off. It was heavy, needed to go for line, but it's a wide open hit for 3. And it's not looking great here for Team Robert. They could be going down 6-1 after this one. Sort of surprising seeing some of these scores tonight. There's been a lot of parity this year thus far in the Sioux Curlers Major League, at least compared to last year. Last year, you'd see 3 or 4 teams run away with it, but it's a pretty close standings board right now. So, a couple lopsided games here tonight, but we'll see what happens. And that'll be a big 3-ender there for Team Hodgson as they take a 6-1 lead on Team Robert after 5 ends. All right, and we're back here in the sixth end of play, Sioux Curlers Major League, sponsored by Northern Superior Brewing Company. I'm enjoying a nice Easy Peel, which is their new beverage. I highly recommend it. We have a 6-1 lead for Team Hodgson over Team Robert right now. And unless Charlie can really turn this one around and get a lot of rocks in play and a couple misses out of Hodgson's team, I don't see this one going the distance. Looks like a come around the corner guard here. Danny really working on this one to try to get this one fully buried. And they'll tuck about half a stone. Nice shot there by Megan, removing the yellow stone from play. Charlie calling for the straight come around again. Not a surprise. A lot easier to make a straight draw rather than a hit and roll, and the hit and roll doesn't really get you a whole lot at this point. So try to get this one fully buried above the tee line, preferably half in the 8 foot. Try to generate your deuce. This one needs to curl a lot. Might get a little tick. Gets a little bit of a rub, but again, only about half buried. So similar shot here for Brady. Oof, and she'll just get that one by, and we'll remove the Team Robert stone from play. Team Hodgson sitting 4 here. Again, doesn't really mean much. Charlie's got to keep rocks in play here, up things back, get some good angles, try to get one behind the corner guard. You got to try to generate your deuce. A lot of curlers out there that might not be used to competitive play would be thinking, let's hit all these green rocks, but that's not going to get you anything when you're down 6-1. You got to keep rocks in play. This one is over curling. Little double tick off the fronts there and push it into the 4 foot. And there is a lot of rocks in play, but there's also a lot of rocks in the 4 foot right now. And it's not looking like it's going to be an easy score, that's for sure. There is a pocket there, though, and you do have options still. So think Dan will be okay here if he rolls out. That's the call, and good shot there by Dan Lethbridge. Definitely don't need more rocks in play for Charlie to use, so he'll roll out, and now Charlie's got to decide whether he wants to try to shift the strategy here into maybe playing some freezes on those center ones, or possibly playing a hit and roll here. Back house weight, it looks like he's calling for about back 8. He's going to try to push that green that's on the top of the button to the back 8 and roll the shooter in behind. This one will be a little bit light, but is fully buried, so not terrible. Behind the tee line. Only question is, how do you get rid of those 3 green that's about to be 4 green in about a minute and 30 seconds here? This is really where I could use my color commentator, but he's got more important things to do. He's got to get the ice ready for the next draw, so doing my best here. Got a little bit of a green wall there right now. And I'm sure Charlie's going to be looking to get one right in the pocket. Maybe bump it back a little bit, but if you sit right there, try to line this up so that if Team Hodgson tries to hammer that yellow, which they probably will, or go nose, that it won't jam on your own yellow. But it's a tough shot. I think you sort of want to corner freeze that one on the side of the 4-foot would be the best, because if they tried to hit that, it might roll back in towards the center. That one will come up light, but a lot of green in play for a lot of jam possibilities. Not really sure what Brady's looking at doing here. I mean, they are sitting 4, but that yellow is the problem stone for him right now in the top 8-foot. Guess you could guard it at this point. It's pretty late in the end. Don't think hitting it's a great idea right now. There's too many possibilities of things that could go wrong with jamming on either side. So looked like he was almost tapping to sort of come in, sit frozen on his own top 4, which would work, I guess. I think I'd be playing the center line guard here if it was me, but This is all about line, this shot. Brady Barnett, 2005 Northern Ontario Junior Champion with Brad Jacobs, throwing his first rock here in the sixth end. And he'll sit 5. You could hit that yellow pretty hard with peel weight, sort of into the crotch of those greens, but I think unless you hit that green on the top button first, that's definitely going right into your own yellow. You might be able to hit that green first on the button, possibly avoid the jam, but I think it's touching your yellow, I believe. We have a final here on sheet 5. Team Matt Hunt, who is going to Winnipeg next week for the club championship for Northern Ontario. He defeats Sioux College mixed team 6-1. This doesn't look, well, actually, that's pretty good. somehow sits frozen on the one top of the button, but Brady's got a pretty easy short slash here to get rid of that one. So anywhere on the high side of that green and that yellow's gone. Just not Charlie's night tonight. It's been a struggle from the first rocks here, and I think this might seal the deal here if Brady can make this one. And he'll remove that from play, and it will be Team Hodgson sitting 5. And Charlie's going to just nose this double for his single, and you might see handshakes. I'm not sure. Thanks to Kyle Sherlock confirming they are sitting 4 there. Update on sheet 8. Team Al Harnden with a single, a steal in the 5th end to go up 3-2 in that game. And I believe that is all this one wrote. So that'll be a 9 to Cinderella story this year. They moved to the top of the standing boards in the Sioux Curlers Major League with a 5-1 record. Team Robert will drop to 4-2, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks for tuning in.